ADOS is everywhere. Cut the check.
What's going on, Dirty Laundry family? It's your boy Bill Money back in the building. Been gone for a minute, but life has a way of imposing its will upon you. But nevertheless, I'm never far away, and I'm back up in this piece with a story that I came across last night via Tariq Nasheed's Instagram page. I think it's Tariq Elite or something like that. And there was footage from an incident which took place in Rio Vista, California. And this occurred on Cinco de Mayo, May 5th, Sunday. And involved 4 African Americans, and from what I could see, 2 Caucasian police officers representing the Rio Vista Police Department. And from what I understand and from what I gather from my brief research on the story, a couple of stories that I've read, it was a non-felony stop. It was a stop in which I believe her registration had been suspended, and they were wanting to tow the vehicle. The young lady, Maya Thomas, is the one who was actually driving. She had an occupant, I believe, another relative, a young gentleman. We'll get into the details. I'm going to go ahead and get into the video. Let you guys take a look at it. I'll be back on the other side with my commentary. Don't forget, if you're watching, to go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe to Dirty Laundry Media. Definitely appreciate your support. So yeah, like, subscribe, and share my videos. Check out my video playlist. And this is reminiscent of a incident that took place in Florida recently involving a young lady named Dima Lovings and an officer named Alejandro Giraldo. The Miami-Dade Police Department, in which she was taken down after she had called 911, after having a shotgun pointed in her face, after having been verbally harassed by a neighbor of a friend that she was visiting with. Go check that story out, because this one again is very reminiscent of that story. Very reminiscent of Sandra Bland. And speaking of Sandra Bland, I believe some new footage from her cell phone has recently been brought to light again. Shouts out to Tariq Nasheed. I did see a post, I believe, on his Instagram or Twitter, in which new cell phone footage of Sandra Bland's has been released, showing how things transpired from her perspective. So yeah, we'll be getting into that as well, I'm sure. That will be a topic of discussion in the coming days. So yeah, here we go. This is the video footage. The officer's name is Stewart Zabel. Stewart Chase Zabel.
What escalated to this began as a traffic stop a block away from home for a couple of siblings and a brother-in-law. They explained it to Fox 40 they were just coming back from a quick Sunday evening errand.
Went to go to the store and get some sour cream and some cheese for our tacos.
Cinco de Mayo.
They say the officer who approached the car appeared irritated from the start.
Like, he came to do something and he wanted it done, so he's gonna get it done.
Rio Vista Police Chief Dan Daly is responding at this time with a written statement explaining the officer told the occupants of the car that it had suspended registration and was going to be towed away.
Which I'm still trying to figure out how. If
if I just got the car and everything was up to date and I just paid for the tax.
Mia Thomas was the driver. Police tell us she refused to exit the car. They detained her 2 passengers. Then another car pulled up to the scene. In that other car was Mia's mother, Deshauna Payne, and Deshauna's other daughter, Cherish Thomas.
Mia's car is getting impounded because she didn't pay.
They both got out and started recording cell phone video. At the same time, detainee Tyrone Clayton Jr. was recording from the back seat of the patrol car. Police say the 2 women ignored directions to remain with their car and repeatedly tried to push past the officers. Deshauna tells it much differently.
He's aggressing her. He's walking towards her. Her hands weren't cuffed. She didn't have nothing in her hand. He had slapped the phone out her hand.
The officer slams Cherish Thomas to the ground.
That's a woman. You're double, triple her size. I mean, what was the need for the use of force?
What doesn't sit well with me is them saying that I tried to swing on the officer. You slammed my daughter to the ground, dirt, which is hard as concrete, on her face. He's 3 times bigger than her. That was unnecessary. Did I get a little bit aggressive? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Regardless to how old your child gets or any of my kids get, when you see them or feel that they're being threatened, you automatically go into mother mode. Protection. You're going to protect your kid.
So yeah, family, this is what we're working with right now. Out of Rio Vista, California. I believe that's in the Bay Area. If anybody's out in the Bay Area, ADOS Star Network, I know you're out in the Bay Area. If you hear anything about this, please follow up with the family. We definitely want to stay abreast. I have some people out there on the West Coast that I correspond with as well who are definitely sinking their teeth into this one. And this article here came from Fox 40, which covers Sacramento, Stockton, and Modesto. And the details were very scant as far as naming the officer who was involved. But briefly, it just it tells us that a mother is outraged and a use of force investigation is underway after cell phones recorded a woman being body slammed to the ground by a Rio Vista police officer. And they don't name him, but check it out. I posted this on Instagram last night or this morning. And a fellow Instagrammer named DJ Vieira Vibe posted on my Instagram Officer Stewart Zabel in his Instagram, which is Chase Z17, which is currently disabled. And he left the number for us to give a call over to the Rio Vista PD and make a complaint with Chief Dan Daly. So I did call, had to leave a message for Mr. Daly as he was away from the office, but I was advised that he has been being bombarded with calls pretty much all weekend. And so yeah, call that number. The number is 707-374-6366 for the Rio Vista Police Department. You can just call in as a concerned citizen and state your case and your outrage and your wish to have this matter investigated and have the offender dealt with accordingly and swiftly. So yes, and so yeah, I was just basically going back to the Instagram post where DJ Vieira Vibe gave up his info. We hop over here and we see that that page is no longer available. I also made a post on Facebook. I inserted a link into the announcement of the hiring of Officer Stewart Zabel, I believe back in 2018 or 2017. He hasn't been on the force for long. I believe before he got with Rio Vista, he was with the Stockton Police Department. You guys can Google that. I had so many links up earlier, I had to close some of the windows so I could make sense of what I had going on. So yeah, Officer Stewart Zabel. And this is the guy, kind of looks like the Mountain from Game of Thrones. He's a huge guy. He looks like he's on steroids. He's a pretty big guy. And this all occurred as Monisha Thomas was heading back from the grocery store to pick up some sour cream and cheese for their tacos, as it was Cinco de Mayo. They say the officer who approached the car appeared irritated from the start, as is standard operating procedure for many race soldiers. When they approach African American citizens, they usually have some sort of a chip on their shoulder, and it is readily apparent through their body language and their attitude, demeanor, tone of voice, so on and so forth. So Rio Vista Police Chief Dan Daly is responding at this time with a written statement explaining the officer told the occupants of the car that it had suspended registration and was going to be towed away. And the young lady was baffled, I guess, because she had just recently bought the car. As far as she understood, everything was up to date. She just paid for the tags. And here we go. So yeah, Mia Thomas again was the driver, and I believe it's MYA. Here's her Facebook page. Maya Thomas. And she posted the video of the incident on her page. And this is Cherish Thomas's page. This is the young lady who was actually body slammed to the ground WWE style. I mean, he lifted her up over his head and slammed her down on the ground with the full weight of his body applied. I mean, I just watched a wrestling match with UFC fighter Ben Askren, and I can't remember the young guy that he took on, and it looked reminiscent to that match. I mean, he lifted her in the air at least 7 feet and drove her into the ground. Totally uncalled for, even if he felt she was not complying with his commands. She was really just out there to make sure that her family was good, along with her mother, as the two officers had her children detained in what they believed to be a lawfully tagged and registered vehicle. And I also believe they were only a block or two away from their residence. So yeah, again, we need everybody to give Rio Vista a call. They already have problems out there. This article was from February of 2019. And the headline reads, officers, residents stand behind complaints filed against Rio Vista Police Department heads. And this was an incident where two veteran Rio Vista police officers filed complaints with the city manager, alleging a hostile work environment, disparaging treatment by administration, and retaliation by Chief Dan Daly and Commander Paul Tesson. Again, this story was also from Fox 40 on their website, fox40.com. And the statement reads from Rio Vista resident and Solano County Sheriff's Deputy Randy Pratt. The death definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting it to change, and it hasn't. You need to do something, and I think the problem starts with these two. These two are Chief Dan Daly and Commander Paul Tassone. So already I don't have faith that this police chief is going to be equitable and is going to be fair as he investigates his own department. I believe we need an independent investigation. Preferably, I guess you would have to choose the lesser of two evils, but if there's a state department, a state police, maybe they could investigate, or maybe if there's some apparent civil rights violations, I'm sure she has a good lawyer on the case, and he is going to be, if he's worth his salt, he'll have his investigators looking into this and digging up as much information about Officer Zabel, whoever his partner is, Chief Dan Daly, and Paul Tassone, Chief's right-hand man. So basically we have a police department that's already mired in controversy. We have a police chief that is receiving complaints against former police officers who allege disparaging treatment in a hostile work environment. And those are very serious allegations if they can be proven. So we'll definitely stay abreast of that, but it's not looking good for Chief Dan Daly, because I believe this one is going to create a firestorm that he won't be able to elude. He won't be able to ride this one out. And the thing was, for me, was it made me emotional. I had an emotional reaction when I saw him slam that young lady into the ground, and I heard her mom scream out, and I wish I was there. If that had been me on set and that would have been my child, they wouldn't have been able to handle me as they handled the sister and her mom, and apparently ended up charging them after it was all said and done. You were charging both of them. Cherish was arrested on suspicion of resisting arrest, obstructing or delaying an investigation, and public intoxication. It was Cinco de Mayo, and I don't believe she was driving. And there were other charges released in a press release. The family has an attorney and said they are planning to fight the charges they're facing. They also want the officer who slammed Cherish to face disciplinary action. In the release, police say body camera footage from the officers at the scene will be sent within the next couple of days. An internal investigation into the officers' use of force will also be conducted. Rio Vista's police chief says the officer who tackled Cherish has not been placed on leave. We want to see him placed on leave immediately. We don't feel safe with him on the streets. And, he just has a violent look in his eyes.
Began as a traffic stop a block away from home for a couple of siblings and a brother-in-law. They explained to Fox 40 they were just coming back from a quick Sunday evening errand.
Went to go to the store and get some sour cream and some cheese for our tacos.
Cinco de Mayo.
They say the officer who irritated from the start.
So I want you to get a look at this guy who appeared irritated. This is Officer Zabel. He's already a pretty big guy. Pretty imposing, I'm sure. If you're a lady.
Irritated from this.
Or if you're a man, he does have a gun and he does have the full weight and authority of the state, which gives him the ability to take your life and to walk free in 9 out of 10 cases. But let's just get a close look in this guy's eyes.
Start.
Like,
Look at him. He looks like dog who hasn't eaten in 6 weeks, and someone just, a T-bone steak just walked by in front of him, and he's ready to get it.
He came to do something, and he wanted it done, so he's gonna get it done.
Rio Vista Police.
Exactly. He had an agenda. He was looking for any wiggle room in which to carry that out.
He is responding at this time with a written statement explaining the officer told the Daly is responding at this time with a written. Rio Vista Police Chief Dan Daly is responding.
And he wanted it done, so he's gonna get it done.
From the start.
Like, he came to do something, and he wanted it done, so he's gonna get it done.
Rio Vista.
Yeah, he definitely looks like a stormtrooper to me. But yeah, wanted to give that to you guys. Again, we want you to go ahead and call the Rio Vista Police Department at 707-374-6366. Keep their phone ringing off the hook, fam. Don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't already. Drop down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. As always, your participation is appreciated, and your support is also appreciated. This is your host of Dirty Laundry Media, Bill Money, signing off.